Welcome to our show, How's It Made? Today we will be making angiosperms. I am your host, Karishma. This is my lovely assistant,
Chang.
and my other lovely assistant,
Amanda. Angiosperms are flowering plants and they're very diverse, so they are separated into two types, monocots and dicots, which increases its diversity in nature. There are also three different parts: the roots, the stems, and the flower.
Today we will be demonstrating these complex structures with candy.
Let's get started.
Today I'm going to start with the roots, which is a vital part of angiosperms because they are involved with taking up nutrients and water from the soil. Demonstrated by our lovely diagram are the roots. They start with the root hairs and the roots that have root hairs, demonstrated by these Tootsie Rolls. The root hairs of angiosperms have a symbiotic relationship with a fungi called mycorrhizae. This means that they increase their surface area, which means that there's more absorption of water and minerals, which is very advantageous to plants. Each root consists of 5 complex parts. This yellow line of M&Ms demonstrates the root tip. This orange line demonstrates the apical meristem, which gives rise to the plant. These 3 colors, the blue, green, and red, demonstrate the 3 zones of the root. The first zone is the zone of cell division. The second zone is the zone of cell elongation, and the last zone is the zone of cell maturation.
Hi, I'm Amanda, and I will be discussing the stem. First, we have the xylem, which is the water and mineral conducting tissue, which consists of 2 types of elongated cells, the trachead and the vessel elements. Tracheads are long, thin cells that overlap and are tapered at the ends. Vessel elements are generally wider, shorter, and thinner walled, and they are less tapered than tracheads. Here we have the phloem, which carries sugars from the photosynthetic leaves to the rest of the plant by active transport. The phloem vessel consists of chains of sieve tube members or elements whose end wall contains sieve plants that facilitate the flow of fluid from one cell to the next. Connected to each sieve tube member is at least one companion cell that does contain a full complement of cell organelles and nutrients, the sieve tube elements. Alright, so in the cell in the stem there is 3 types of cells. The parenchymal cells look like classic plant cells, which is this one here represented by a dot. They have turgid cell walls and give support to the shape of the plant. Here we have collenchymal cells, which have unevenly thickened primary cell walls. Their function is to support the growing stem. We use the celery, for example, because the strings of a stalk of celery consist of collenchymal cells, as you can see here when you can rip it off. The sclerenchymal cells have very thick primary and secondary cell walls fortified with lignin. Their function is to support the plant. And here we have a lifesaver because they're really hard.
Hi, my name is Chang and I'll be talking about the flowering plant. Because the flowering plant is an angiosperm, it has both the female part and the male part. In the diagram here, this shows the female part, which is called the carpel, and it contains the ovary, the style, and the stigma. In the ovary, there's ovules, which leads to eggs, and which contains embryo sacs. In the male part, which is called the stamen, it has 3 parts too, called the anther, the pollen grain, and the filament. When an egg gets fertilized by the sperm, the ovule becomes the seed and the ovary becomes the fruit. Over here, the orange M&Ms represents the brightly colored petals, Even though people are only attracted to the flowers because of their colors, it also serves as a function which allows bees to come for pollination. And on this side, we have the darker color M&Ms, which represents the sepal, which lies underneath the petals.